There come moments in every life when problems seem insurmountable. Have you ever woken up feeling completely powerless in the face of daily difficulties? That feeling that every step forward seems like a struggle against the endless flow of life. Today, we will delve into the world of Stoicism, a philosophy that taught the great minds of the past to find strength in the most dire of circumstances. We'll discuss 8 destructive habits that quietly undermine your inner strength, and how Stoicism can help you turn your life around for the better. Join me on this journey to expose these habits and learn how to transform them into sources of your strength and determination. Welcome to the world of Stoicism. The first destructive habit we encounter is negative thinking. Negative thinking limits our possibilities, creates fears and doubts, and can even lead to depression. But how do we overcome this tendency to perceive the world in black colors? Let's turn to Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic. He faced untold trials, wars, epidemics, political intrigue, but he learned to see problems not as negative, but as opportunities for growth and development. Aurelius wrote, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. To combat negative thinking, start by consciously accepting reality. When a problem arises in front of you, ask yourself, what's good about this? How can I use this for my growth?" Reframing problems as opportunities is the key to overcoming negative thinking. It's also important to practice gratitude. Take time each day to think about what you are grateful for. This can be anything from the warmth of sunlight to the support of friends. Gratitude helps shift your focus from negativity to positivity. Finally, train your mind to be more flexible. When negative thoughts arise, consciously look for alternative, more positive ways to view the situation. Remember that you are not your thoughts, and you have the power to choose how to respond to them. Overcoming negative thinking is not an easy task, but it is the first step to releasing your potential and finding your inner strength. As Marcus Aurelius said, the power of man is not to change the external world, but to change his views of it. And this lesson is the foundation of Stoicism. The next habit that undermines our strength is avoiding challenges. Often we try to avoid challenges, believing it will make our lives easier. But in fact, avoiding challenges robs us of the opportunity to grow and become stronger. Let's take a look at the life of Seneca, the Roman philosopher and Stoic. Seneca faced many trials, from exile to political intrigue, but he believed that it is hardship that builds our character. He wrote, "It is not man because of circumstances, but circumstances because of man." This means that we should not let circumstances control us, but rather use them for our own development. To overcome the habit of avoiding difficulties, start by rethinking your attitude toward them. View each difficulty as a unique chance to learn something new and strengthen your spirit. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help or advice when facing challenges. Sometimes by joining forces with others, we can find better solutions and learn new lessons. Finally, learn to see problems in perspective. Not all difficulties are equally significant, and sometimes what seems like an insurmountable obstacle today may be just a minor misunderstanding tomorrow. Seneca taught us that the real test for man is not to avoid difficulties, but to learn to overcome them. By recognizing each trial as an opportunity for growth, we can find true strength and confidence. The third destructive habit we will look at is self-pity. This is the state of focusing on our suffering and failures, forgetting our strengths and capabilities. Self-pity undermines our confidence and hinders personal growth. Consider Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who was a slave and lost the ability to walk. Despite these hardships, he became one of the most influential thinkers of his time. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb people, but their opinions about events." This means that our perception of circumstances, not the circumstances themselves, determines our emotional state. To overcome self-pity, start by changing your perception. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, see yourself as an active participant in your life. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve my situation? It's also important to recognize your strengths. There are unique qualities and abilities in each of us that can be utilized to overcome challenges. Remind yourself of your accomplishments and successes, even if they seem insignificant. And of course, practice gratitude. Focus on what you already have rather than what you lack. This will help shift your focus from problems to opportunities. Remember that self-pity is a habit of thinking that can be changed. As Epictetus taught, we have the power to choose our attitude toward any situation. By overcoming self-pity, we open the door to a stronger and more fulfilling life. A fourth destructive habit that can significantly undermine our inner strength is the inability to forgive. Holding a grudge or anger within ourselves is actually more damaging to us than to those we can't forgive. The inability to forgive imprisons us in the past and prevents us from moving forward. Consider Cicero, a Roman orator and philosopher who often faced political betrayals and personal grudges. Despite this, he understood the importance of forgiveness as a way to release the weight of the past. Cicero said, "Forgiveness is not a weakness, but the greatest valor." To learn to forgive, begin by understanding that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to others. This frees you from the weight of negative emotions and allows you to move forward. It is also helpful to try to understand the motives and circumstances that led others to their actions. This doesn't mean justifying their actions, but understanding can help reduce feelings of resentment. Finally, practice self-compassion. Forgiveness can be difficult, and sometimes we ourselves need forgiveness for not being able to let go of resentment quickly. Remind yourself that being human means being imperfect, and that's okay. Cicero taught us that forgiveness is the road to inner peace and harmony. By freeing ourselves from resentment, we open the way to a more meaningful and satisfying life. The fifth habit that often undermines our confidence and strength is the endless pursuit of perfection. This elusive goal can lead to a constant feeling of dissatisfaction and being critical of ourselves. It's important to realize that perfection is an illusion, not the ultimate goal. Even the great figures of history, such as Julius Caesar, have faced this. Caesar, while striving for perfection in all things, was often frustrated and stressed by his failures or shortcomings. But his story teaches us that real strength lies not in achieving perfection, but in the ability to recognize and accept one's limitations. To overcome the pursuit of perfection, start by rethinking your goals. Ask yourself, is my pursuit of perfection really helping me, or is it becoming an obstacle in my path? The goal should not be perfection, but continuous improvement and development. It's also important to practice self-acceptance. Recognize that mistakes and imperfections are a natural part of the human experience. They make us not only more realistic, but also more valuable. And remind yourself of the value of progress over perfection. Celebrate the small victories and lessons you've learned along the way to your goals. This will help you appreciate the journey, not just the end result. Remember that striving for perfection can be a trap. Recognizing and accepting your shortcomings and taking joy in the process of learning and growing can lead to a more balanced and satisfied life. Sixth habit, dependence on the opinions of others. This habit causes us to seek external approval and validation instead of relying on our own opinions and values. The Stoics teach that true freedom and strength lies in independence from others' judgments and evaluations. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Thus, liberation from dependence on the opinions of others begins with strengthening one's own beliefs and self-respect. The next habit is the inability to say no. This often leads to overloaded responsibilities, stress, and loss of personal boundaries. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-discipline and self-respect. Seneca wrote, "Learn to say no. This will not only protect your time from unnecessary responsibilities, but it will free your mind." It's important to learn to set boundaries and stand up for yourself to maintain a healthy balance in life. Finally, fear of change is a habit that keeps us in our comfort zone and prevents growth and development. The Stoics saw change as a natural and inevitable part of life. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen the way you want them to happen, but wish things to happen the way they do, and your life will go well." Accepting change as a natural part of life will help you adapt and find new opportunities for growth. Dependence on the opinions of others, the inability to say no, and the fear of change can have a significant impact on our lives. Once free of them, we will discover a new level of personal strength and confidence that Stoicism seeks to develop in us. Summarizing our journey through 8 destructive habits, we see how so much of our lives is determined by our perceptions, our actions, and our reactions to the world around us. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy. It is a practical guide to living a strong, meaningful, and balanced life. We have looked at how negative thinking, avoidance of difficulties, self-pity, inability to forgive, striving for perfection, dependence on the opinions of others, inability to say no, and fear of change can undermine our inner strength and confidence. But more importantly, we learned how Stoicism can help us overcome these habits by offering concrete strategies and guidance for personal growth and self-improvement. I encourage you to incorporate these lessons into your daily life. Start small, respond consciously to challenges, practice gratitude, set personal boundaries, and welcome change as an opportunity for growth. Remember that every step, even the smallest, brings you closer to a more meaningful life. I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. How has Stoicism helped you in your life? What changes have you noticed by applying these lessons? Thank you for your attention. I hope this video has inspired you on your journey of self-discovery and self-improvement. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other videos to help you on your journey through life. See you all again.